Well, it feels like winter is well and truly setting in now. It's definitely a lot colder than it has been. I've got my woolly hats on, I've got jumpers on. So yeah, we're all wrapped up, ready for our session today. As the temperatures have dropped, I've obviously been looking for some species that are a little bit more reliable over the colder months. Top of that list for me is definitely chub. I've done a few sessions for chub already, but a very, very close second is pike. And I don't do very much pike fishing, but when I do, I very much enjoy it. This is actually my second dead baiting session out. The first one was unfortunately a blank. But I have also been out on a few sessions with the lures as well, and I'll talk you through that in just a minute. I'm just going to get my rod set up, get out fishing, and we'll see if we can pull in some fish on today's session. Right, something's having a go at this bait. Let's check the drag. There we go, we're in. That didn't take very long at all. Feels like a nice fish. Really nice fish. A bit too slack there. Swing towards the bank. Where's the net? Just walk back, get the net. Yeah, brilliant. Okay, got the net. What a nice pike. Yeah, not a bad one that. Not a bad one at all. Really not a bad fish. Very quick bite as well, which was nice. Let's see if we can get him in. Yeah, there we go. Brilliant, absolutely mega pike that. Great fish. Well, a very nice pike there, going £7 on the nose. After only a few minutes of that mackerel being in the water, we're going to get this guy back in the net, back in the water, and then slip it back. Well, that was a bit of a crazy period. I turned up in this swim, got one rod ready, cast it out, and within a couple of minutes I was actually just rigging the other rod up, but it was away, it was going. So I managed to hook into that fish, and it was a very nice 7-pounder that you just saw. Got that fish back and everything, re-rigged that rod, got it back out. Instead of a sardine, I think I put a mackerel on, or vice versa. Anyway, it was already away again, basically. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to hook into anything that time, and I got a little bit snagged up in a tree, but we got everything back, and we're now fishing 2 rods. It's quietened down a little bit, so hopefully we'll get a little bit more action in a while. I'm going to have a cup of tea and some lunch while it's a bit quiet. Make a cup of tea, we're away. Yep, nice fish that. Feels like a little jack. Yeah. So I'll get it in. There he is, can see the bait in his mouth. Oh, he popped off. Ay. Well, as is ever the case, you start the kettle up and you instantly get a bite. That was a reasonable fish, a little bit smaller than the first one. That was maybe 5 or 6 pounds, I'd guess. Unfortunately, it just popped off. I've actually tied up a new trace. I'm not overly happy with the trebles on that one. They're just a little bit dull now, which I think why that fish probably popped off. So I'll get a new bait on there and get it back out into position, see if we can get another opportunity. Well, aside for dead baiting, I've actually been getting out on a few lure sessions as well. Lure fishing, I find, is a great way to just sort of get me in the pike mood and get me out just catching a few fish. It all started a little bit closer to home on the River Foss, where I just went out looking for literally any pike that would take a lure. Well, I've come down the River Foss tonight. It's basically already dark, it's gone 6 o'clock. We're just going to do a quick little bit of lure fishing down here and see if we can get into a pike. I've got quite a big crankbait on, hopefully that'll attract some attention and we can get something on. Well, we're in. Feels like a nice pike, actually. Putting up a good fight. Some weed as well. Well, at last, a nice jack pike there for us. Straight back into the water, not a big one at all. While a success, this was obviously quite a small fish for the River Foss. I've caught in the past bigger fish, ones that go probably 6-7 pounds even in there, which for a small river is quite a good fish indeed. But nonetheless, I headed out to some other rivers, starting to travel a little more widely. It wasn't long before I was back out on another lure fishing session. Well, a little jack pike has come along. I had this. Ah, there he is. Up on the top there. Oh dear, dear. Yep, we'll just try and slip him in the net. Yep, there we go. Brilliant. Little jack pike there, put up a really good account of itself. Let's get this guy back in the water. A stick. Yeah, classic capture. Well, we've got another little jack pike on. In the net he goes. Brilliant. Well, when this first took the lure, I thought it might actually be a perch, but it's just a little jack pike there. Obviously quite hungry. We're going to get him back in the water. Well, it was great to keep catching fish, although they actually seemed to be getting smaller. I decided to step up the lure size I was fishing and slow down the retrieve a bit to see this would tempt some fish. It wasn't long before I was back out testing this new technique on a new stretch of river, one that I hadn't really fished before. Well, we're out today heading after some pike. It's a very windy day. I'm just going over the top of the flood defence and I have to get my hat from the car and everything. Also, England, you know, World Cup at the moment, so very, very topical. We're going to get down, have a look at this river and see if we can pull out a couple of fish. It looks good, colour looks good, not too much. Flow is a bit fast up here, so I'm going to head up a little bit and find some nice slacks where some pike might be lurking. Well, I've hooked into what seems like a reasonably nice fish actually. Let's get my net ready. Oh, thanks, bud. Very typical, my net is doing something. Right. Oh, come on. What is going on? Nice little pike there. Fold him into the net. What? Oh, I don't know what this net is doing. It just would not go up. Anyway. Well, after quite a while fishing, we're finally into what is a not bad fish actually. Very nice markings on it, even if it's not that big. We're going to get this guy back in the net, resting, and then slip it back. Oh, well, that was a bit of a mess, wasn't it? I just, all the mesh had slipped to the front of my net and I just couldn't open it properly, and then the handle kept getting caught on the mesh, and it's just an absolute mess basically. So even though it wasn't pretty, I did manage to bundle that pike into the net, and I'm very happy. That was not a bad fish. Some nice markings on the top, probably 5 or 6 pounds I'd guess, but I wasn't going to weigh it. It's not a giant, is it? So anyway, yes, very happy. I'm going to fish a little bit more, hopefully find another pike. Well, it's getting a little bit hot now. The sun came out for a little bit, it's gone away now. I've just taken some layers off, but what a nice fish. It really made me work for it. I was fishing for probably a couple of hours, casting the lure around, absolutely nothing. One of the last swims of the day, bang, fish on. Bit of a nightmare with the net, but we got it in. Happy, happy days. Anyway, I'm gonna move swims. I'm just packing up my kit, and we'll see if we can get another fish. I've had a few missed runs, so all the signs are there. It's about 3 o'clock now, so hopefully as it gets towards darkness, 4, half 4, we might have another couple of opportunities and we'll be able to bank some fish. Well, this rod is off. I think it's off. Tighten down on this. Yeah. We're in. Nice. Nice little pike there. Yeah, there we go. Oh, not a bad fish there at all. Nice, good one to end the day. Well, right on last knockings, we get another pike. A little bit smaller than last one, probably 5 pounds or so, but very, very welcome for a final fish, and especially after missing a few runs. This guy is very lively, so we're getting him back in the water very quickly. Well, I've just moved out from under the trees where it was getting very, very dark. I couldn't really see the floats very well anymore, so I've decided to call it a day. But I really hope you've enjoyed watching this video, seeing me bank a few pike. They're slowly and surely starting to get bigger, but hopefully as well over the coming months, I can land some better fish. So thank you for watching, and hope to see you in a future video.